Hi everybody, Jen here in my kitchen. Tonight we're making shakshuka. So shakshuka is a dish that comes from North Africa. It's very popular still, especially in places like Israel actually. They picked up the dish and it's served just about everywhere and for every meal of the day. So tonight I'm making it for dinner. But you can have it for breakfast or for lunch. It's really great for breakfast. And you'll see, it's basically just a tomato and pepper stew at its most basic that you cook eggs in and then serve with some crusty bread or some toast. So we're going to heat up our pan. And the other great thing is that it's a one pan meal and it probably will take you maybe half an hour or two from start to finish. So I'm going in with a nice amount of olive oil. And we'll cook our onions. So there's many variations on this dish. You can change up the spices, change up the vegetables. I've even seen green shakshuka, which this one is red, and the green one has a combination of onions or leeks and kale or spinach or chard or collards. But we're gonna kind of go traditional, and then when you make it and you'll want to make it again, then you can try your own variation on it with spices that you like and throw in some other vegetables that you want to try out. So we're gonna saute our onions for a few minutes till they get a little bit golden. Our onions are starting to brown. I'm gonna put my peppers in and let them sweat down a little bit as well. I'm really trying to make room for all of these tomatoes. So you want to make sure you have a pan that's going to fit all of these ingredients. So the recipe that I'm sending you calls for a couple of peppers, but if it's only going to be for a couple of individuals and you're going to make it for like 2 people and you're not doing 4 to 6 eggs or 6 eggs, just kind of half the recipe. So you could do the whole onion if you like, and but I would just do 1 pepper and maybe half of the can of tomatoes. Do you want to come and help me? Do you want to come and see? Okay, you can come and see. What are we making? Do you know?
What is it?
It's gonna be dinner, and it's called shakshuka.
Yeah.
Can you say shakshuka?
Shuka.
Shakshuka.
Shuka.
Shakshuka.
Shuka.
Shashashuka.
Shuka.
Yeah.
Oh, down.
Thank you. Throw a little bit of salt in there. So like I always say, the longer you can cook this sort of thing, the better, to develop all of those really nice deep flavors that come out of the caramelization process. So if you can continue to cook these peppers for as long as you would like, so once they get really soft, or if you have less time, then just until they're just cooked through, if you like. But I like to keep it going. Almost get that roasted red pepper flavor. Okay, so once your vegetables are cooked to your liking, or you're losing patience with how long it's taking to cook and brown, you can add in your garlic. This is 2 cloves of garlic. Do more, do less, whatever you like. And then I've got some spices here. This is some toasted cumin and paprika. And mix those in. Give them about a minute to cook. And then we'll add in our tomatoes. We can add in our can of tomatoes. This is a can of whole tomatoes. We'll just let that come up to a simmer. You can kind of break up some of these tomatoes with the back of your spatula or spoon. And just let this come up to a simmer, and then let it simmer away until the sauce is a little bit thicker if you'd like. Or at this point, once it's heated through, you can add your eggs. But I'm just gonna let it simmer for a little bit, probably 10 minutes, just to let the flavors kind of meld together. Okay, our shakshuka base is thickening, and I just want to give it a taste at this point before we add our eggs, just to see. It's perfect. So I think it's time to add our eggs. Make sure your pot is still kind of gently simmering away. And we're going to drop in 6 eggs. So depending on how you feel about your egg cracking skills, whether you get shells in them typically, then you might want to crack it into a bowl first before doing this, or just give it a shot the way I'm going to try. So just kind of make like a little well for your eggs. I'm going to do 6 in here. So I'm just kind of making 6 little spots for my egg to fall. And just crack it. And your whites are going to maybe move around, and that's okay. A really great tip that somebody gave me for cracking eggs. I used to always crack my eggs on the corner or an edge of a bowl, but if you actually do that, it can force some of the shell inside the egg, so that's why you'll often get like little pieces in there. So if you crack it just on the side on a flat surface, then you usually get a bit of a cleaner break. Okay, so now we're going to let this simmer for about 7 to 10 minutes. Really what you want to see is the yolks get kind of firmed up. The whites. This is very important. You want the whites to be pretty much cooked through, but the yolks just set and runny. I like my yolks runny. I hope you do too, because I think that's the best way to eat them. But if you like yours fully cooked through, then put a lid on this if you like and just let it cook for like 10 minutes. But I'm gonna leave the lid off and just let that simmer away gently. And we'll check it in about 7 minutes. I'm just pushing some of the whites into, just stirring it into the sauce a little bit. So those are nicely nestled in our sauce. And we'll see you back here. Okay, we're gonna check our eggs. Ready? I think they're cooked. So I put a lid on them because they were taking a while. I think it's been about 10 minutes. You wanna check. And so the whites look like they're cooked through. Yeah, and hopefully the yolks are still yolky. We're gonna turn it off, and then we'll garnish it with some cilantro. We'll do some salt and pepper. I'm gonna put you down for a sec. And just a little bit of feta on top, and we'll put this out on the table just like this, and then people can serve themselves. And we've got some nice crusty bread here to serve with it. There you go. Doesn't that look great? Are you ready for dinner, Charlie?